Good evening, good people. Happy Tuesday. Happy freaking Tuesday. It's NK1 Show with your boy, brother Nqeumpandla kaJuluJulu masebenza ashikove mthinzi athunga buleleleni. Insizwe yacende simaganko omsengilele ngoba amamili akhahlela ivicudi ubandle longagezanga wabona insile emfuno lakhe zanga wabona amafuka athe. Siqunga sihle singahlalanyeni ngoba zonezalela amasakabulu. Bathi unxebo lendoda axikiza amadoda ngamanxeba axhumisa amaxoxa jika nqapha. Ukhoze lumaphiko ndizela phezulu ezinye ndizela phansi. Mxoshe ethole lenkomo zona zasinde umqhakazo. Phansi emlazana ngisokhona ngokuzala ufuna kuphuza ngiphuza isprice. Ngahlala ngiphuza icoke. Ubhagwinye ukhala bamgeza intombi zimfuna zonke noma sethi usindisiwe. Yeyini namani unqeku danko kaningi ibeke iviki neviki. It's NK1 Show isikhathi 8:15. And ngihamba with the most beautiful lady in the whole world, and that's Mira on the wall. Poo 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 poo. Hello Mira.
Hello, Nqevu, and hello to everyone that is watching tonight's show. Siyabonga guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in today's show. We're sorry about yesterday, but sikhona namhlanje. In its Men's Month, Sonje. If you are a guy or you know a guy, please make sure that you tag them in the comment section, that you share the live. Ngoba izinto ezobe lana, men need to know and women also need to know about them. So guys, please make sure that you tag your friends in the comment section, that you share the live. And don't forget to add your comments and your questions, because we want to hear what you have to say, guys. So please leave those comments and those questions in the comment section. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. It's going to be a great show.
Thank you very much, Mira on the wall. Bafethu kuzoba mnandi kakhulu namhlanje. Sisakuyona ke immense conference. uNkulunkulu usenzele umusa ke ukuthi uOctober uvele ube mude kakhulu, because we have 5 Sundays, we have 5 Mondays, and then it's happened to ukuthi ngama Sundays we have RTS Revelation Time Show, and Monday we have yours number one favorite online show, NK1 Show. So namhlanje it's a 4th session that we are having today. Unfortunately, last week we couldn't have the one at Men Must Work because our guest was occupied, and then saphinde sahlehlisa kwaphinde futhi kwangenzeka. So sixolisa kakhulu nazolo futhi njengoba bathe seshilo uMiraphel, siyaxolisa kakhulu bafethu. Namhlanje sikhuluma nge-men's mental health. Please do share the live, mention people as we are adding our guest, Pastor Gugula Mandate. Silwane somhlola. Sixoliseke bafethu ngokuthi simfakele. Tata kaNkulunkulu uyasizwa nje. Siphakathi manje.
Inizwa kahle kakhulu.
Ngoba usuphakathi sasusibengelele ngoba manje naba basibhekile manje basilalela.
Ake sibingelele mfowethu Nqevu usisi Ngqo, sibingelele ababukeli benu, nibingelelwa yimina ushukela wesizwe nganongozele ungafaka ngakana netiyeni ohlala liduma ufaka ushukela wesizwe abaningi bafaka ushukela womoba. Umfana kaSK Mathambo sipoko jikele eshobeni imcondo yahlaba njengenalithi. Nibingelelwa yimina isazi sasempumalanga, the wise man from the east. Gugula Mandate, sanibonani.
Ayi madoda yazisho lensizwa yakaZwide madoda, yazitsho lensizwa yakamkhatshwa. Hey, ngezwe kuvuka uhlevane la kumina bafowethu phela. Insizwa yakaZulu bafowethu izisho kanjena kusuka etshela ukuthi insizwa impela le. Mawuyinsizwa ungenayibongo, hey awusonsiza wena. Woza la sikufundise thina ukuthi uba insizwa kanje, uba nezibongo zakho nje ngaphandle kwesibongo sakho, so gadi cele Dlamini ube nje nezibongo zakho weyinsizwa yakwena oyibongela ngayo, wazi ukuthi bakukhulunywa ngompandla kaJulu kusokhulunywa ngobani, bakukhulunywa ngosukela wesizwe, khuluma ngoba ayewazisho khatshwa kwethu ngeza kuvuka uhlevana mfowethu kwathi ngisukume ngigike. Ayikusuka madoda abathi siyakhuphuka ngempela ke namhlanje ke zama ngempela. It's men's conference, we are transforming boys to men. Namhlanje sizokhuluma nge-men's mental health. Yes, when you talk about mental health sikhuluma ngesimo so angazi ngizoyibeka kanjani ngesiZulu, but we are talking about why am I being forward? Because we do have someone ozositshela ukuthi masikhuluma men's mental health suke sikhulume ngani. So uMirabel guys uke washo ke ekuqaleni kwelive ukuthi add your comments, your questions, your opinion, because we shall read it out loud for our guest, because namhlanje sidila namadoda. Le nyanga nje yonke sidila namadoda. uMirabel uzohlala nje asibuke kanje asimale iziphele ishow, because lento ingamadoda. Please do share the live, mention people kuzoba mnandi kakhulu. Siphethe isihlalo somhlola madoda bathi ushukela wesizwe isazi saseMpumalanga. Ayi kushube ngampela abafethu, kushube ngampela namhlanje. Without waste of any time, ngifuna nje sivele sihlale phezulu kwaludaba while you guys are still sharing the live, while you guys are still mentioning people. I can see the number is going up, people are sharing the live. Thank you very much guys, and people are tuning in. And to those who are tuning in, this is NK1 Show, your number one favorite online show, where we discuss about every topic. We are dealing with men this month, as it is men's conference. We are transforming boys to men. If we are a boy ulakule show izophela usuyindoda, because sizodila nesimo sengqondo yakho. Pastor Gugula mfowethu, without waste of any time mfowethu, usubingelelile mfowethu, asivele sihlala nje phezu kodaba sibakhanyisela abasebenzi ababukeli, I mean ukuthi masikhuluma nge-mental health yamadoda, noma nje masikhuluma nge-mental health kahle kahle sike sikhuluma ngani. Na amadoda ngiyabona vivile la nomfundisi wami uGagashi uthi usephakathi, naba oMadlamini sebephakathi la, uthi ushukela wesizwe maye uyakhala. Awusathu usibeke mfoka Gugula, usitshela ukuthi masikhuluma nge-mental health kahle kahle suke sikhuluma ngani.
Oh, ake sibonge kuyinsizwe ezinkulu baba uGagashe. Awugagashe labantu. Sibonge mfowethu Ncewu. Kodwa ngiyajabula usuzwe lapho uthi ke ake sicacisele abasebenzi, ngabona ukuthi ngikhuluma nenkosi mara ngikhuluma nemanager, ngikhuluma nomphathi, ke ubuya kokubukana nabasebenzi bakhe. Uma sikhuluma ke nge-mental health mhlobo wami, sisuke sikhuluma ngenjini yomuntu ekwazi ukuzala, noma ke it is the well-being of a person. Yile engine ezala lokhu umuntu azoba ikhona kusasa. I-mental nje masikhuluma nge-mentality, ingqondo yomuntu, sisuke sikhuluma ke ngenjini that is here to give birth to who you are for real. Into ke engifuna ukuyiveza siqala le ukuthi umqondo wakho, your mentality, yiwona oba yiwona kusasa. Mhlawumbe ngikhulume ngesingisi ke ngithi scriptures are saying, because ngumfundisi ngizovula ngeBhayibheli, angizokhuluma ngeBhayibheli zekovalo kodwa ngizovula ngalo nje ngoba ngumfundisi. Scriptures are saying like a man thinketh in his heart, okusho ukuthi i-mentality asikhulumi ngalama brains la gijima khona ama-brains womuntu ehloko, but i-mentality sikhuluma ngenhliziyo yomuntu. Yini inhliziyo yomuntu? It is a well of thoughts, la kuvela khona yonke imicabango, i-mentality le. Why? Because lithi iBhayibheli, like a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. In other words, you become just like your thought. In other words, you become like your mentality. Mhlawumbe senze kanje futhi sihloniphe umfundisi bami. Incwadi ye-Ecclesiastes ithi, he has planted eternity within man. So ke masikhuluma nge-mentality, sikhuluma nge-eternity iphakathi komuntu. Lokhu wena oweza ukuzoba ikhona emhlabeni kuzalwa from within, kuza ezweni le-manifestation, uba ikhona. Now masithi ke ayibe health leyo ndawana, sisuke sesibukani ke lapho, sesibuka ukuthi uma ngabe uke walimala lento ekuthiwa yi-heart, your mentality, your inner being, the real of who you are, now kusho ukuthi kuzozaleka ukugula ekubeni your future, your destiny, your becoming will have distorted because ulimele kwi-mentality. Okuyini mentality? Yilokho ikhona nje obuza la emhlabeni, i-consciousness kaNkulunkulu okuthuma emhlabeni. Sithi ke ayingalimali neyamadoda ukuze amadoda akwazi ukuphumelela, abe yilento amadoda ayeyibizelwe, ayeyidalelwe ukuthi abe yiyona.
Usakhona mfowami? Angazi kwenzakalani bafowethu. Oh.
Sengivalile lapha, angazi noma ke ngisezwakala noma MTM usuphindele into zawo. Sengivalile lapha, angazi kwenzakalani bafowethu.
Angazi kwenzakalani bafowethu.
Sengivalile lapha, angazi noma ke ngisezwakala noma MTM usuphindele into zawo.
No, hayi usezwakala wayichaza kahle mfowethu, wayichaza kahle silwane somhlolo. So njengoba uthi sikhuluma la ngenjini, sikhuluma ngomqondo nobuyena umuntu. So njengamadoda yiphi indlela?
Usezwakala?
Yes, hayi siyakuzwa silwane somhlolo, ngathi noma wena uyasizwa yini?
Hayi angisezwakala.
Siyakuzwa. Wena uyasizwa? Okay guys, ake ngenze nje remove and then siphinde simbuyise futhi sixolise kakhulu ushawa i-network la ikhona. Ndoda yaphezulu. Okay. Mirabel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Hayi shuthi inkinga ingakuyena ngampela. Inkinga ingakuyena ngaos. Siyazwana la no Mirabel. And then I can see him la ku backstage. It's blank. I think ushawa network. Okay guys, Xolise, can you please just give us a second while still fixing this? Yabona indaba zama network, it's always an issue la eSouth Africa. Bengitshela ngoba kuwina amabhokobhoko mhlambe uRamaphosa will make things right for us. Sobala ukuthi
Short network manje.
yeah, once amabhokobhoko awina noma kwaphela indaba ye-World Cup, we'll go back to load shedding.
Awusenkingeni.
Well guys, angimtholi usevele wanqamuka, but kulabo abangena manje besachaza indaba ye-mental health ukuthi masikhuluma nge-mental health kahle sikhuluma ngani, uke wayichaza kumfowethu noma beyichaza ngaso isiZulu, engazi ukuthi isiZulu ngingayichaza kanjani mina ngezulu. But when you speak about mental health, we are speaking about the well-being of your psychological. Mirabel, am I right? It's psychological and also social being. Lapho sikhuluma ngama qualities of your mindset of being able or capable to yabona isingisi sinkinga to ukuthi sifacane ngingasho ukuthi nama stresses or realities of life. As we are living la emhlabeni bafethu, there are a lot of things esibhekana nazo, mostly stress. So when you speak about mental health, the things esibhekana nazo, or anxiety disorder, depression, stress, and substance abuse, PTSD. There are a lot of things, guys. So the reason why we wanted us to discuss about mental health, it's because we want men ukuthi babe nomqondo, babe ne-mindset right, bakwazi ukuthi bazazi indlela zokhandlisha ukuthi izinto ababhekana nazo ukuthi bangagcini sebewela ku-stress, because amadoda amaningi ane-stress. Izinto eziningi ezenziwa amadoda wrong zenziwa ukuthi amadoda ane-stress, ane-pressure ebagcina lisebenza ukuthi babe ne-depression. So angifuni ukuthi ngiye kakhulu lapho, because we do have our special guest engathi uyabuya. Let's just hope ukuthi uzokwazi ukuthi abuye aqedele la aseqale khona, because imibuzo sinayo eminingi. Okay. Guys, I think mhlambe singabe sithatha imibuzo and read some comments sithole ukuthi abantu bathini, yini abantu abafisa ukuyazi, noma imaphi ama-point abalulekile abafuna ukuthi sikhulume ngayo concerning or regarding indaba ye-mental health. Kanti manje usuyaprofetha, siyabuyela ku-stage 5. No, Erickson, asiprofethi inceke yenkosi ukuthi nje siyazi ukuthi ubaba wakho engenze njani. So guys, I was reading something about mental health while sisalinde our special guest. It says lana, mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. So when you speak about mental health, we are not talking about something edingwa ithini sibadala kuphela, but into ekumele siyitheklishe from ebuncaneni bakhe umuntu ukuze ngesikhathi ekhula his or her mental health, mental well-being or psychological or social, because I believe Mirabel singawufaka usocial. Usocial, I think uyangena guys, uyangena because yes, kuyak-affecta because emphakathini noma even emsebenzini, emasontweni noma ikephi la esikhona ngendlela kuyenzeka ukuthi kube khona izinto ezizo-affecta especially amadoda emqondweni, because we have amadoda ane-depression. Mhlawumbe into esingayikhuluma ukuthi why do men have depression?
Yeah,
men
but I
have
think
yes.
Project but I think also recently just soluti abantu besilisa banama mental health issues where numbers cases ziyanyuka, and sola nama suicide rates bantu besilisa kuthiwa are higher than abantu besifazane. So abantu besilisa they commit suicide than abantu besifazane. Which is also very interesting, and maybe when it gets here to joins, they can give us more insights. Uthi why abantu besisa bezibulala kakhulu nabantu besifazane, why ama issues mental health esemakhulu kangaka for abantu besisa compared to besifazane. And maybe it can also share ukuthi bacabanga ukuthi yini izathu that abantu besisa are killing themselves more than abantu besifazane, and what could be leyo nto etriggerisha leyo nto, because we have a problem with society yethu right now with mental health, especially abantu besifazane. And I think we hardly see abantu besifazane also talking about our mental health issues. And we can also understand why is there still shame ukuthi as indoda express ukuthi as in depression, anxiety, and why is it hard for men to voice that out in today's society compared to thina abantu besifazane? Thina nje masingekho sibhala ku-Facebook, sibhala ku-TikTok, siza ama-video, siya kwi-counseling nje, sikhuluma nabantu, whereas abantu besisa they hardly go for counseling, abayi for therapy, abakhulumi nabantu, abanawo abangani. Abantu besisa abanganabo abangani. Thina nje masingekho right ufonela umngani wakho ukhuluma inga yakho, ukuthi injani. So there's a lot, I think, that we need to unpack makela mental health specifically with abantu besisa ngoba izinto akufani between women and men when it comes to our mental health issues.
Yeah. Well, Mirabel, let me just mhlawumbe ngizama ukuphendula la ekuqaleni ukuthi why abantu besilisa beba ne-depression more and then bagcine sebeyibulala. Well, yabo umuntu wesilisa, there's one thing about umuntu wesilisa. Umuntu wesilisa is known as a strong person. Number two, umuntu wesilisa kungcono umuntu wesifazane njengoba dushu nina if ningekho right niyakwazi ukuthi niz-express ukuthi okay angikho right, and then uma ubonakala ukuthi awukho right and then niyakwazi uku-attendana Whereas on my side, mina mangekho right, it's very difficult for me ukuthi ngisho ukuthi angikho right because ngaziwa njengomuntu wesilisa, ngaziwa njengomuntu strong. Even if into iyangidla ngaphakathi ibhlungu, I can't even cry because if once I've seen crying, and then it will make me a less of a man because I'm known as a man, I'm known as a strong person. Uyabo? Kanti the world is not noticing ukuthi the more they're giving us pressure of le title abasinika yona ukuthi basibize ngamadoda and then bayidefine ngezinto ezinkulu kube indoda, it's giving us more pressure ukuthi ugcina usuzenza ihero ngisho kungasafanele. And then lento ihambe ikudle because you're not getting help. Why you're not getting help? It's because you are not expressing your feelings. You are unable to say, hey guys, I can't cope. Because when you are known a man, you are always a hero. You are expected to be strong. Whereas there are a lot of expectations futhi amanye emaceleni that comes with being a man. So it makes us end up having depression. Uyabo? Ubone ukuthi it builds up because we can't express, we can't even go to therapies because therapy, even going to therapy, therapy is not like therapy going to a machine or a robot. You are going to a human. Sinale mentality yokuthi if ngiya kwi therapy ngiyokhuluma nomuntu indaba zami ngiweak. Yabo, because mina I am a man. If ever let's say I'm a husband, my wife depend on me. My children knows me as their daddy. If I'm their dad to them, I'm a hero. They know what my father is strong. My father can do all things. If shorter in the car, they know what my father will provide. There are a lot of things that men need to tackle and handle at the same time. Meanwhile, I'm going through stuff that I can't even express myself to. And then igcina sengenza lento le ngiba ne-depression because I can't express myself. I can't say ukuthi hayibo guys angikho right. I can't even cry because I believe when you are crying, kukhona into eyenza kunobuhlungu obunciphayo. So it's very difficult and very hard for us to heal because you can't even focus on one thing or beginning as because there are a lot of them. So igcina sisenza sibe ne-depression, sigcine singasakwazi ukuthi sis-express, and then sometimes abanye bagcine sebekhetha ngisho nokuyibulala. Mfundisi
baba
ubuyile kodwa?
Yey mfowethu ngibuyile kodwa ake sinikelise abantu mfowethu, ake kube khona umuntu onikela nge-airtime ye-Vodacom e-50 rand njengamanje ngokukhulu ukushesha okumangalisayo. Abantu bangaloko besibuka lapha ngamehlo bethi panya ake kunikelwe lapha ngoba u-MTN uyangikhipha. Bade athi u-MTN manje-ke ubuthakathaka isigwili esisodwa lapho ugagashe noma esinye isigwili, ake kube nesigwili esinikelayo lapho ngokukhulu ukushesha.
Awuvele uyifake lapha ku-WhatsApp le number lesivele sisiphuthume.
Phela lezi gwili ngeke ziyazi le number uma ngabe siyifaka le WhatsApp.
Hayi ngizoyiphuthuma fast mina.
Oh hayi akuphuthume ngoba ingelozi yami sicasukile manje.
Yeah, while usalungisa leyo nto la kuke khona umbuzo la mhlawumbe ongawusho ngendlela right because I also do have some questions and some point from our viewers la esidinga ukuthi siwatheklishe kuyona le ndaba le ye mental health. Mhlawumbe angiqale ngale unqobile Zindela uke wathi how do you help with their past unresolved issues or help with any healing process? So uyabuza uMazindela la ubuza ukuthi amadoda engasizakala kanjani einkingeni ze past engasolvekanga ukuze bakwazi ukuthi bahile kuzona.
Yes baba. Asike mhlambe siveze kube kubidlala kube kuthashwana. we need to understand ukuthi number one, amadoda are very much reluctant to talk about their mental health. Ngiyezwakala? Ilo MTN awufuni
Uyezwakala.
Right. Amadoda ngithi they're very reluctant to talk about their mental health. And mawucheka even eMelika kukhona ama findings ayasho ukuthi 80% wamadoda abulawa suicide kunama females. They die more than females from this day fana nabo suicide nabo depression, so to say and so to speak. But the most problem that we find ukuthi lezi nkuzmalanga, they don't want to talk. They actually avoid getting help for their psychological issues. Inkinga leyo yokuqala, because umuntu cannot be helped mhlobo wami angaka discover yena ukuthi udinga usizo. Now the most difficult person to help in the universe umuntu ongaboni adinga usizo. Asikusho lokho ukuthi esikhathini esiningi mawuthi ufuna ukusiza indoda, especially to mental health issues, indoda ibona ngathi uyayidisrespecta ngoba ayaphuza amadoda to admit that they have problems, especially lento esikhuluma ngayo njengamanje i-PTSD, ukuthi kufanele kube ngumsebenzi wawo amadoda ukuvuma ukuthi our past have had certain influences on how we are today, and those influences are not right. Bona they should seek help from the point of admitting the problem. Ngiyezwakala baba wami?
Uyezwakala.
That is number one. Afanele amadoda akuvume lokho. Number two, asilungise lapha ke amadoda fanele akhulume. Men must also be able to talk about their problems or calamities okubahlaselayo, ngoba isikolo esikhulu ka psychology esiza umuntu kwi mentality yilapho khona umuntu akhuluma yena ngomlomo wakhe ngezinto abhekene nazo noma ke ake wabhekana nazo. They have to be open and talk about those issues. Lastly, another resolution is that amadoda should attend psychological help, professional psychological help, whereby they sit down nama-psycho. Abantu bangikhuluma nje uthola ukuthi amadoda ake ahlala phansi nama-psychologist kwaxoxa kwalungisa umqondo. U2% emadodeni asilalele njengamanje noma u0.1%. Now again, amadoda awakujwayele to visit ama-men conference, lapho khona amadoda asuke ahlangene wodwa. Uyabona makhona abantu abangathandi ukufundiseka, abantu abangathandi ukutshelwa, yilabo abantu okuthiwa ngamadoda. They don't like to be informed, and yet they are supposed to be leaders in their houses, in their homes, in the society. Now you cannot be a leader if you have never been a follower. Now they should make it a point ukuthi bayasithola isikhathi obaba so kuya kuma men's conference kuyohlalwa phansi and talk about what is the problem of a man, iyini inkinga yendoda. So ke okugcina ke amadoda awajwayelane nokuya ezinkonzweni, ngoba ezinkonzweni iwona ama-centers akwazi ukuhlala kusetshenzwe indaba yendoda. Ngakho ke amadoda amancane emasontweni mhlobo wami, amadoda asemasontweni wama-games, emasontweni la khona kujayivwa khona. Uyabona mawuthola esontweni uyothola amadoda ke lapho, ngoba amadoda awafuni ukutshelwa, afuni entertainment. Uyabona emasontweni ekugcunywa khona kuthiwe 1 2 phezulu sonke umuntu phezulu suzu agcwele kamadoda lapho, ngoba amadoda awafuni into that is going to attend to their mental capacity. They don't need anybody in front of them sitting down and listening. Ama-worship centers should be visited mostly by amadoda. Ayeke amadoda ukukhonza ey'nkonzweni lezokudlala zokugcuma, inkonzo ekungakhulunywa khona nomqondo womuntu, ngoba mawufuna iBhayibheli ku-chapter 12, iBhayibheli lithi wamaRoma lithi ungalingisi lelizwe bese lithi let there be a renewal of your mind. So now without that happening among men, amadoda angeke aze aphile kuma-past issues wawo.
Wow, asibonge Zwide mfowethu, asibonge Mkhwatshwa. Ngiyathemba ukuthi amadoda alalele, kodwa into engithanda kakhulu Zwide, ngiyabona amadoda ngathi namhlanje iwona agcwele from looking at excuse from our viewers. ngathi wona impela amadoda agcwele namhlanje. So kuyangithokozisa ukuthi sikhulume ngayo lento amadoda ekhona. Asiphinde sibone laphana again kwama comments lapha unqobile usithi no men don't talk but indoda ikhalela ngaphakathi, which is wrong. Thina we vent and senza sure amadoda afihla yonke into for the sake of being strong. Right. Erickson uthi thina this generation yama 80s and 90s are almost the last generation that was raised by strong fathers who were mental well. Manje men are challenged by a lot of things happening around the world. I remember how King David rich as he was, he dedicated the book of Proverbs and Song of Solomon to teach his sons about how to handle things, both spiritual and mental wise. Kusho laphana Erickson Makhosini. Sicela somhlolo uthini wena?
Baba ngivumelana kakhulu. Asikusho lokho ukuthi thina sivela we habitual experience. Angifuni ukuthi kuyi culture ngoba kuyona iculture. Ake sithi nje i habitual experience ukuthi indoda ibizelwe ukuba strong kunawo wonke umuntu okhona emhlabeni. So ke indoda ayikhali njengoba esho nje lesi statement ake ngakhele phezukwaso. Indoda ayikhali ikhalela ngaphakathi. And yet when you go to the study of psychology, you are going to understand ukuthi the emotions of a man are also the same. Ama feelings wendoda they are also the same. Na indoda iyalimala and iron sharpens another iron. Iyadinga indoda ukuthi iphume. Singamane sithi indoda ayibe careful ukuthi ikhala kuphi. Kodwa ifanele indoda ukuphuma mhlobo wami iyovoice out ukukhala kwayo. Iculture ke yenze ukuthi kuthiwe indoda is strong ngaphakathi igcina ingazikhulumi out izinto ezingama issues abhekene nendoda bese kuba inkinga phezukwenza. That is number 1. Number 2, thina sizalwa mhlobo wami obaba abekho. Uyabona? Sizalwa thina obaba basebenza eJozi ubuya kanye emva kwenyanga ezimbili. Okusho ukuthi esikhathini esiningi ubudoda bethu bakhiwe omama bethu. Awangazi noma ngiyezwakala kulelo phuzu.
Siyakuzwa.
Ezinye zezinto ezenza ukuthi wena ncewu njoba uqonyiwe nje uma ngabe kuba nomsindo phakathi kwakho naleli mama nigcina nobabili nidila nale issue ngama feelings afanayo. Senu negative no negative. Uthola ukuthi wena uphezulu uyarasa nomngakho uphezulu uyarasa. Yini indaba ukuthi wena sewungene kuma resolutions kamama wakho owakukhulisa okusolve inkinga ngoba ayengeke ubaba wakho ozokukhulisa ubudle eduzana ubudoda ungabuzwa ngendaba. Therefore wena emotionally you have been built by your mother. Actually you are a woman locked inside the body of a man. Then for you it is difficult to know ukuthi indoda i-acta kanjani ezimeni. Wazi umama wakho makabhekene nezimo a-acta. Ebese kwenza ukuthi ke amadoda nawathi aya from their heart kule mentality. Aya from their heart ayolanda the resolution to deal with matters. Kufike kungaphumi indoda kuphuma umama ngoba istorage sakhe istorage sika mama.
Sure. So Butwami, just to speak to Linda Oduyisho manje. Angibone ama stats recently ethi around I think 31 to 37% of households kunobaba ekhaya in South Africa. So how do we then break the cycle if one of the reasons why sinenkinga in terms of mental health is due to fatherless homes, and yet namanje siyabona, which generation yethu baba abekho bayamalala. Moving forward, how do we break that cycle so that ekhaya ubaba ukhona umama ukhona, and as umntwana or umfana okhulele ekhaya, you can then see ubdoda being presented to you. How do we as abantu abamnyama break this cycle?
Ngiyabonga kakhulu sisinqo ungathi wafunda nami boarding school mihle imibuzo yakho. Ake sikusho lokho ukuthi ukuze silungise leyo nkinga kuzofuna sike siqale siyo attendana indaba ye sex. ayibathi abantu mandate uyayithanda isex niphume kimi kuzofuneka osisi bethu, our sisters should stop being pregnant for people who have never said they want babies. That is number one. Number two, kuzofuneka ukuthi obhuti bayeke ukupregisa amantombazane accidental. Ake ngisiphendule statement sami ngizwakala kahle ngisho. Osisi kuzofuna beyeke ukukhulelelwa umuntu ongakaze asho ukuthi ufuna umntwana. Number two, umuntu ofuna umntwana eyindoda eyinsizwa ngendlela eqondile ukuze abe nomntwana. We cannot continue having babies on street and expect to raise them in stable homes when we already have gotten them from outside stable homes. Then kuzofuna indoda efuna ukuba nomntwana iqala isitshengise i-stable home, number one. Number two, kuzofuna isitshengise i-readiness yayo yokuthatha lo mama womntwana bahlale naye, ngoba kunama-traumas indoda ezozalisa usisi imshiye ezowadalela usisi bese usisi akhulisa umntwana nama-trauma of the past ukuthi ubaba umtreat kanjani. You know, abantwana bethu ane-anger towards thina. Iyona yiphi lo mntwana kanababa nomama anayo imbalance ngoku-traumatized. Lo mama okhona unama-issues never dealt with no baby daddy. Then kukhula umntwana azeke mentally. Now kusho ukuthi lento basizoyelapha abantu abafuna ukuba nomntwana, let them sit down and have a child talk conversation specifically, ngoba one of the things engiyibonile eyenzekayo exabanisa abantu abazela umntwana yilento ukuthi omunye bekathi siyazilalela, omunye beka just gratifying the flesh. When usuqhamuka usu pregnant, let us discuss the issues of having babies deliberately and be honest to ourselves and to our partners to say, are we ready to make a child now? Number two, before sikhuluma indaba yokwenza umntwana, let's look the stable foundation. Ikhaya siyathathana yini thina nawe noma asithathani? Manje uzawuthini ke ngoba abantu baqala ngokuzala abantwana 5 ngikhathi bakhuluma indaba yokuthathana. Bonke labantwana age 1 to 7, uma lo mntwana angakhulelanga at a stable home elinobaba 8 years kubheka phambili, lo mntwana sowulimele, sekufanele kusetshenzwe kanzima ukuze lo mntwana abuyise kwi-mental health. Ngiyaphinda-ke, asizaleni abantwana siqondile ukubazala, sizobonakala ngani siqonde ukubazala. Inyoni uma izozalela ihamba iyolanda utshani yakhe isidleke sayo esihlahleni phezulu, ayiqali ngokuzala amaqanda awe phansi bese ithi hawuthi ngakho ikhaya. No, sihlulwa yilwane, sihlulwa izinyoni. Let us learn best from animals. Sengiyabona ukuthi why uSolomon athi bonele entuthwaneni. We can learn something from Animal Farm.
Sure. That was powerful. But one kona comment that the issue, specifically directing to abantu bama 80s, nama 90s. And then, we spoke about how family and, if you're growing up in a household, how that affects you as a man. But there's a lot of comparison that's made between each generation manje and generation yakudala or omkhulu bethu specifically. With omkhulu bethu, they had ingane eningi 10, 11 kids namakhosikazi babekhimizi bekhulisa abantwana beyondla unkosikazi, but they didn't have mental health issues. What is your response to that when it comes to comparing estates abantu besizwe today and the issues that they have versus omkhulu bethu who also had challenges and the lack of mental health issues ngaleso sikhathi?
Okay, mhlambe ake siqale kanje. Njengamanje into ekhona manje umehluko phakathi kwabantu bakudala nabantu bamanje according to isilwana sakamhlolo yi-exposure. We cannot literally say they did not have traumas as we have them today, but we can say it was not exposed to the level exposed ngayo manje ngenxa yokuthi njengamanje izwe selide, yabona. Ngisezwakala?
Yebo, yazwakala.
Right. I cannot fully agree to that experience to say bebangenawo ama issues. I-exposure yakhona ibikade incane ngenxa yokuthi izinsiza angithi manje nje makungathiwa kunendoda ebulala unkosikazi wayo uzwa quick noma lento yenzeke eStern Cape wena uhlezi la eMpumalanga ezweni labantu abahlakaniphile uzoyizwa quick ngenxa yokuthi i-social media iyayiphusha manje into owakudala uzothi hey abantu bebangabulawa kangaka lutho buzozwa kanjani wena abantu babulewe ngoba bungenawo neselula buhlala lapha kwelakini ohlala khona. Number 2, I also need to mention ukuthi ezinye zezinto ebezingaba yi-contributory factor uma ngabe ngenza ngathi ngiyasivumela le statement ilento yokuthi izwe belifishane kudala bancane nabantu ebebaye esikolweni njengamanje i-mental health iqala ukuvela at a very tender stage ngenxa yokuthi ake sibekise nje umntwana ongena baba makangena nje crash ezwa abantwana abanye badlala bathi ubaba wami automatically ingqondo yalo mntwana is going to be disturbed abe ne-stress. Abantu abaningi abazi ukuthi abantwana at a younger stage 5-year-old 4 years old bayaba ne-stress. Lento yokuthi ezwe abantu baxoxa ngobaba so lokho abakhona sona 6 years manje akakaze ezwe ubaba wakhe akakaze ambone ubaba akakaze amzwe nangevoice seyiqalile njalo i-trauma kulo mntwana. So i-exposure manje esibhekene nayo isinkulu manje usuthi uhlezi la ubona izinto ubaba social media far away from where you are enzela abantwana bakhe 1 2 3 automatically you are taken deep into the health mental issues ngoba uyabona ukuthi ukuba nobaba ukuba njani. It's simple now to see kanti kudala uma uhlezi la ubuhlala la wazi lokho okwenzeka la awazi ukuthi eCape Town kwenzakala njengamanje. So i-exposure yenza ukuthi neyinkinga zethu kube ngathi seziningi kakhulu kanti zisatha zingene elifanayo ngoba ama-causes wale inkinga awakashintshi.
Wow.
Noma ke the roots that are birthing these challenges have not been dealt with, and so the result will still be the same.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much for that, Mfundisi. Last question, because ngiyazi Men's Month ngizoze ngiblow quick le channel. Sikhule ebandleni Mfundisi kuthiwa i-mental health idemoni. You know, fanele ukhulekelwe phume idemoni ube free ube delivered as umzalwane. As abazalwane, how do we tackle this? You know, is mental health illness a demonic spirit? Is it something that we need deliverance or no for therapy? How do we tackle mental health illness and how we view it ebandleni? You know, without us seeming like for help, because there's an expectation ukuthi yonke into esidingayo isezweni. How do we go about that?
Ngiyezwakala manje.
Yebo.
Ngicela ungiphindele i-question mina angizwanga ukuze sosekugcineni.
Angithi ebandleni growing up besitshela ukuthi i-mental illness, you know, idemoni elibamba abazalwane, and that's how it's been perceived ukuthi umoya omubi. How do we as abazalwane tackle mental health illness? You know, is it okay for us to get therapy or noma fanele sikhulekelwe? You know, how do we navigate with ease and our expectations as umzalwane around mental health illness and how we view it as ibandla?
All right, thank you so much, Sisingo. Angikusho lokhu ukuthi abafundisi nje siqale ngabo. uPaulos uthi kuTimothy, study to show yourself approved. Ayikho into engekho ezwini, kodwa uma ngabe ungazazi indaba zakho nezwi awukhoni ukubona ama-scriptures that are attending exactly to mental disorders, awukhoni ukuwabona. Yonke into uyifuqele emademonini ngoba wena iso lakho lokubuka ama-scriptures lifishane. Kanti iBhayibheli lithi ngey'nsuku zokugcina kuyokwanda ulwazi. Ngithi-ke this is a challenge for me engiyiphosa kubafundisi ukuthi alwande madoda ulwazi epulpit, alwande ngempela ulwazi epulpit. ukuze uma ngabe ulwazi selwandile kuzokwanda emabandleni indaba yama-counseling. I believe ukuthi ama-counselings wasemabandleni angaba namandla even ukwendlula ama-therapies angaphandle, ngoba uma ngabe umuntu ezokhanselishwa ebandleni hhayi ukushunyayezwa, ukukhanselishwa. Ama-scriptures uma esebenza engasebenzi ukushumayela, esebenze ukukhanselisha. Ngikholelwa ukuthi lungaba lukhulu usizo olungavela ngoba umuntu uvela kuNkulunkulu. So-ke uma umuntu eney'nkinga simbuyisela kuNkulunkulu, simsiza ngokwendlela ahlaseleke ngayo. Uyabona abazalwane bayathanda ukusiza umuntu ngendlela angahlaselekanga ngayo, beyeke le ahlaseleke ngayo. Angikwenzela i-example, abazalwane bathola umuntu elambile engenakudla, bethi asingene ekamerweni, mbrom, ye baba nale energy yokuthi mbro anginayo, ngifuna iphalish. And so now let us learn to attend people ngokwendlela abahlaseleke ngakhona. Uma si-attenda abazalwane, lento izofana nokuthi i-BMW ibigula yamikiswa kwa-BMW. Ngiyabonga.
Sicela semhlola. Ayi, hey. Ayizikhala ngempela ke namhlanje bafethu. Hayi ngiyakutshela wena, ngiyakutshela sikhala ngempela. Abantu abasizwe ngokuhlaseleka kwabo. Umuntu umelambile akangathandazelwa akanikwe isinkwa. Sicela semhlola sikhukhula ngempela kabathi ushukela wezwe. Isazi sale eMpumalanga. Fikile ngempela sikhuphuka ngempela ke namhlanje bafethu. Let us go to our comments, and there's also a comment la engifuna ukuthi ngiyifunde from Pastor Sandile Dlamini, but let me just quickly go through here ngoba lawa alokhuzeka relate kakhulu kulento esixoxa manje. Okay, sicela uncedo asilandele ne-psychologist please. Sidinga amadoda abe right inkosi yami. Ama-men's conference sicela abe nama one-on-one psychologist bakithi. Mazindela, I try to get i-psychologist yangifuna imali. Sixoxile nje emva kalokho kuza indaba zama-compensation, ngayitshela ukuthi mina la ngisazama nkosi yami, this is a live show, ayidingi ukuthi ize ekhaya noma imoto, izohlala nje lapho kubo, yathi nje idinga imali. So
ngisazoza 1,000 an hour rate.
So ngisazozama-ke nezwa 1,000 an hour rate. So ngisazozama guys, ngibone ukuthi khona yini uNkulunkulu azoyithinta mhlawumbe azela mahhala azodedela. Kodwa kwamanje sisathola ulwazi olufanele. If okay, nangumfokamfeka, umfokamfeka phansi lapha eChina, useChina njengoba sikhuluma udla amaselesele. Mfokamfeka siyathemba ukuthi awuwadla amaselesele laphana eChina. Uthi umfokamfeka, if you stay long enough with anger, you'll realize that it's actually discover that it grieves. Ngenxa yokungabi khona indawo yokukhulula i-grief, igcina isi-manifesta as anger. So when the grief is dealt with, anger won't be your biggest concern. Wow, vele wayihlaba wayishaya nange-solution umfokamfeka. Sibonge lapho umfokamfeka, power uziphu awuvalwe. Cha mfundisi thana akuyekwe ukulala straight, kuzoba lula lokho. And then aphinde wabuya futhi umfokamfeka uthi if you stay long enough with anger, and you scrutinize it, you'll carefully discover that you're dealing with grief. Uma ingekho indawo yokukhulula i-grief pain, it's then manifest as anger. When the grief or pain has been dealt with, then there won't be a need to concern yourself with anger. Ngiveza i-root cause ye-anger. This is a very, very important one, guys, because in each and every problem that we have, we need to find our root causes, because
that's those
are, because if there's a problem, and then iphinde ibuye futhi inkinga injengoba it's either ibuye njengoba or ibuye isimo. So umfokamfeka la ukhuluma into ebaluleke kabi ukuthi when there is a problem, guys, we need to get the root cause ukuze sizosimula. Yes, Mira.
Can I just add, indaba ye-anger is very important, especially with safety abantu besifazane. So these things are all linked, because we see numbers, gender-based violence ziyakhuphuka. Abantu besisa are not coping very well. Uthola ukuthi umuntu uzovuka ekuseni adubule unkosikazi adubule naye. So we need to understand ngempela ukuthi yini root cause, because even as women kune chain reaction. If mental health yomuntu esingekho right, there's a big possibility we see people around him will also be affected. So that's a very good point I raised it.
Yeah.
And
So that's something.
also
Asivele sihlale phezu kwayo le comment yamfethu umfeka, because asikwazi ukuthi sidlule. It's very very important ukuthi sithole ama root causes yalento yama anger. Yini edala umuntu wesifazane, I mean umuntu wesilisa agcine ebe ne anger engaka.
right, asikuveze mhlobo wami ukuthi mawubheka isystem yase South Africa ifavora abantu besifazane kakhulu. Ngiyacabanga mhlambe kwenza ukuthi baningi bathi mangabe bavota ivote labo libe namandla to an extent yokuthi mawungathi manje uye police station uyo report police station ukuthi hey sengishawe ngumngami lapha ngempama enzima, police station bazohleka bathi hey uphi ucula azongizwisa lemhlolo, uthi wenze njani? So lokho kwenza ukuthi mhlobo wami noma unama pains onawo owadalelwe umuntu wesifazane, ungabi nendawo njengoba ekhuluma nje umfeka ngikulento kamfeka, ungabi nendawo yokuyolahla ipain ebese uyigcina kuwena ipain oyidalelwe ilabo abantu onabo, na mostly ipain yomuntu wesifazane. Njengoba akhuluma ngokuthi uzwe kuthiwa sekufe umuntu wesifazane ubulawe indoda, ienga yayo kusisinqo lokugcina ipain mhlobo wami ungenandawo yokulahla umthwalo, kwenza ukuthi lento ihamba ize iyophazamisa umqondo. Kuthiwa ke uma kukhulunywa ngeanger kuthiwa it's temporal insane, umuntu othukuthele uyahlanya. So lento ayiqali ngokuthukuthela, iqala ngobuhlungu. Uma ngenandawo yokulahla ubuhlungu ibisi yamtorment iba yianger. Uma ke sekane anger, so mentally disturbed lowo muntu loyo. Seziningi izinto angazenza ezi-inhuman ngoba akanayo indawo yokulahla ipain, noma ngenxa lento athi kade sisho ekuqaleni ukuthi uyindoda uzobugcina ubuhlungu bakhe, angabulahli indawo abugcine nje, because mostly thina sicabanga ukuthi njengamadoda into langiyigcine kimi ngangayikhuluma sengiyinqobile, kanti ngiyigcinela ukuthi iyazala izalela amaqanda. I-psychology ithi yonke into wake wayibona noma wayi-experience wayizonda kodwa wangayichitha wangadila nayo, uyibone ngamehlo, mhlawumbe ubona umama wakho ushaya ubaba wakho, lento ingena kuwena izozalela amaqanda ngoba awukazi uyilahle le pain, wayigcina kuwena wathula. Uma isizalela amaqanda kuthiwa ke imanifesta as a behavior now from you, uzobe subonakala wenza exactly lezi zinto wakhula zikuzwise ubuhlungu ngoba awuzilahlanga, wazigcina zazalela amaqanda zamanifesta seziyibehavior yakho ke manje. That is why ama-behavior anzima enziwa ngamadoda uma sethukuthele, uma ungalandela ifana nse nebehavior kayise noma kamalume wakhe noma enye yebehavior ake wayibona before. So ngithi ke ayilahlwe ipain before izalele.
Ayi madoda, hey sasa sempumalanga bafethu sigudla nathi sihamba ngampela, siyakhuphuka mfokazwide, khuphuka mkhatshwa, ngiyakuzwa mina mfethu nginamanga amabili alalele. Namhlanje ngizobe indoda yangampela, ngizobe indoda eqinile. Suka madoda, NK1 Show. Please do share the live bafethu, niyabona nani ukuthi ziyahappena, kumnandi, ziyabuya. Even i-co-host ayifuni ngisho ukuhlehla, ithi yey ngiyazi ukuthi men's conference kodwa ngila ekushube ngampela namhlanje. Asike size umfoka Jamela ukuthi uthini. Uthi umfoka Jamela, mina I think the issue we have is with our schools. Ngiyavuma lapho. It doesn't matter how much we fight for men. Our schools are not talking about these things. Our kids are exposed to pornography, sex, and too much freedom to point that they are given charge. Look at countries like China. Suicide rate is 8.0 in country with 1.8 billion. South Africa is at 23.4 with 60,000 people. This needs to be a subject taught at our schools. Very powerful mfoka Jamela, because njengoba desho nje ugugula ukuthi lento ye mental health ayiyona yabantu abadala. Nami ngiye ngasho futhi ekuqaleni ukuthi even nezingane ezincane ziyakwazi ukuthi zibe ne stress. Izingane ezincane ziyakwazi ukucaptureisha into eyenzeka bese abancane bakhule nayo. So ezikoleni iyadingakala ngampela lento ukuthi ibe khona kukhulunywe ngayo ukuze ingane zizosizakala zisencane kuthiwa igotshwa isemanzi usho ke isiZulu ngumZulu ke phela mina bafose ngadidwa isweke yala emalokishini ngumZulu impela mina ngiyishaya insizwa futhi danko abazalwane bayathanda ukusiza umuntu ngendlela engahleselekanga ngayo ngizwile mina mfundisi. That's what the book of James chapter 2 verse 15 says. Uthini Mzama? All right, mfundisi wami, let us go to financial issues. Let us go to financial issues because sesithinte kakhulu.
Ake siqale siqwephule lento kaJamela kuqala.
Phezu kwayo.
Ngeke ezikolweni ifundiswe mental health studies. Ngoba ezikolweni akusetshenzwa ukusiza to liberate a black mind. Ezikolweni kufundiswa to bring burdens to a black mind. Othi ngihlabe kancane lapho bese ngiyadlula. Number 1, asikho isifundo esikolweni sama finance ukuthi na uqala ukusebenza wenzani ngoba kufuneka ungakhululeki financial. Fanele usebenze ubisele imali kwabasi mawuqeda. Yingakho ukuthi na uqeda ukusebenza bakuthumela imessage bathi uyaqualify ukuzothatha 200,000 eCapitec. Ngoba uyizidimdim ugijima uye lapha. You are not trained liberation based on finances. Number 2, uyabona makazothinta indaba ye-mental health kusho ukuthi phela sesohlakanipha. Ezikolweni kusetshenzwa ukuthi uthwale umthwalo for 12 years. Na uqeda ukuthwala for 12 years uhambe uyothwala for 4 years more. Na ubuya lapho sowufunde iminyaka emingaphi lapho? Sowufunde 16 years. Mawubuya lapho uthi imisebenzi ayikho. Kanti ubufundani kangaka ngasofunde 16 years ubusafuna ukuyoqashwa. Awukwazi kwenza into ethile engakufakela imali. Now you begin to understand ukuthi isikolo asilethelwanga liberation. In our communities, let us have centers that are dealing with these matters. Oh mama, oh sisi, intombi zethu, bonke abantu besifazane, let them encourage us at a tender stage to attend those centers. Ngiyamemezele emasontweni, akuvukela ama-center, kubizwe lama-psychologists professionally, kubizwe ama-social workers, kubizwe abantu abafunde, kubizwe abazalwane. Let us sit down and discuss these matters. Ngoba ezikolweni kwathi kuna statement esi-1 esashiwo inkosi eyaphesheya makusuka kuzocolonizer leli izwe lakithi yathi teach them to remember and not to reason. Wonke umuntu ofundile esikolweni akakwazi ukucabanga, into ayazi ukuyenza ukukhumbula. Photosynthesis is the process whereby the plant. Oh mana ke ungayikhanda imali ngalo photosynthesis ongitshela ngawo angeke ngiyikhanda. Kanti ufundani wena? To remember not to reason. Asahambe mntakaNciko.
Ayisikhuphuka kaphela abafowethu, siyakhuphuka kaphela. It's NK1 Show. If you don't share unomona awufuna abanye abantu babone ishow emnandi kangaka. It's NK1 Show bafethu. #1 online show. Ngiphethe uGugula Mandate. Ugugula ngampela isilwane somhlolo isazi saseMpumalanga ushukela wezwe. So madoda, this is my tribe. Bafowethu nangu unqola ethi siya improve isiZulu sikaNceku. Hayi bafowethu niyabona nani isiZulu mase ngisifunda angisalibe ngibala amagama. Okay, ngifundele isiZulu sokugcina mase sibuyela lapha kule comment engiyithanda kakhulu emfundisi uDlamini. uJamela uthi okunye bafowethu abantu besifazane bamanje Nkosi yami, indoda can't even breathe. We are mistreated so badly by our wives who are not playing their role but coming with more problems and intention to get something and go out raining men. Men are no longer loved but challenged. That's why begcwele esportini because beer makes them forget easily. Asingayidluli le. Gugula asingayidluli. Asikhala phezu kwayo nangu futhi no Justice na uyasho ukuthi my tribe. Hayi, Gugula mfowethu. Hayi, angazi angithule kodwa asigibele nangu uJamela ekhuluma la uthini?
Uqinisile impela, uyabona amadoda mhlobo wami, ezinye zezinto uma ngabe sibala izinto ezikwazi ukuba ngama-solutions kuma-mental disturbance zamadoda, umgenge. Yabona umgenge. In fact akusiba utshwala obenza ukuthi amadoda athi kuba ngcono emqondweni ngoba utshwala na ulokhu bulandela kahle bugcina bukudalela amanye ama-mental disturbances noma nama-health issues. Kodwa ngibambe emhlobo wami, ngibambe. Ingakho lobu utshwala babo ababuphuzela endlini zabo. Akabuza kahle mebushayela endlini uyabhoreka. Lapha ya into esuke ibaluleke lapha ukuthi usuka yohlangana negenge necrew, uyohlangana namanye amadoda namanye amajita namanye amantombazane a stressless naye abe stressless ngoba lapha akafunwani ukuthi sonke ukuhlangana as a group and share something common outside of your home or your place of predicament wenza ukuthi umqondo wakho ube ngcono. Yebo, singelibalekela iqiniso elithi nakho ukuphuza ke manje kukwenza ukuthi temporarily you are going to forget about your problems, kodwa na ubuyela ubasopa ama-problems wakho awakelashwa. Asingagqugquzelani-ke ukuyothiba ama-problems, awalashwe complete.
Hey, wayithinta yazi wayithinta indaba. People they tend to ukuthi uma benenkinga, especially men, baye tavern becabanga ukuthi inkinga izophela kanti bayoyidambisa, and when they come back the following day ushiye ekhaya nenkinga eziwu-3, the following day ubuya seziwu-7 because ukuphuza lokho ade kwenza bekuyinkinga naye, kodwa it seems like it is a solution okwesikhashana. So that is very very important bafethu ukuthi siyazi lento ukuthi masiyophuza utshwala, number 1, njengoba uyophuza utshwala uyospenda, that is a problem because le mali engabe yenza something ngekhaya wena usuyayispenda. So when you come back home usudakiwe uyitshela ukuthi inkinga seyiphelile kanti inkinga zisadamile because of ukudakwa kanti wena usunezela inkinga. So we need to reason guys, singakhumbuli but we need to reason njengoba adesho ugugula lapha. So yes Mirabel.
Just on that, mhlambe we can pose this question to a guest. Ukuthi for someone obviously ophuzayo, it's a coping mechanism, so I'm coping with stress.
Yeah.
So what are some of the healthy ways I suggest to men in terms of how can they cope in a healthier way with stress than, you know, going out bephuza and all of that kind of behavior? Undisungzwile?
Right. Ngiyazwakala mfowethu Ncube?
Yeah.
Yebo.
Ngiyazwakala la?
Yes. Siyakuzwa?
Yes, ngikuzwile. Mina ngiyazwakala.
Yeah.
Ngiyazwakala.
Impela. Usakhona mfundisi? Alright, sesiphinde wenzeka njalo. I-network, I thought he switched to Vodacom because bese simsethile lapha ku Vodacom, but asike silinde kancane bafethu. Uzobuya. Alright. Angazi noma, let me just see Mirabel ukuthi awekho nama questions mhlambe noma ama comments engiweqile ebekumele singaweqi. Nakhuza maningi. How to deal with indoda ene-anger. Okay, Pepe Mgazi, i-question yakho ikhavekile. And then Beulah Nomusa Sbisi is saying, is this man's only? Feels like saying you're a trespasser. Yes, this is a men's conference. Sis Beulah. Amehlo angalokho ethi, hey Carol Joe. Okay, I don't think khona ama questions engwadlulile la. Yo guys,
There's
yes,
a nice comment by Uzama eti ingakho Proverbs 21 verse 9 eti better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. So nkosikazi ohluphayo uyinkinga khethani kahle khulekani nikhethe kahle.
Yes Mirabel, enye inkinga lezo Mirabel. Uyazi ukuthi abanye emakhanda noma ingqondo zabo eziphazamiswa abafazi babo. So abantu kumele bakhethe kahle. When you choosing a wife, you make sure that you don't choose your type, but you choose a suitable wife. Because lento yama-type bafethu, lento yama-types igcina lapha kwama-dating. When it comes to marriage, marriage is a very serious thing. Marriage is serious ngale ndlela yokuthi when you choose, you don't choose a type, but you choose someone who is suitable. Yeah, so the comment yazam is very, very powerful. Better to live on a corner of of a roof than share a house with a quarrelsome. A quarrelsome wife. Lento le siyayibona ey'ndaweni zokusebenza iyenzeka. Kunabantu abangafuni ukugoduka bema kubo because bashade nabafazi abahluphayo. Kunabantu abangakujabulela ukugoduka bemakhaya because abafazi babo. Leyo nto iyodwa ihlukumeza umqondo wendoda. So enye yezinto ekumele siyinake lezo guys. Yabo, because ingakuphazamisa ulimale impilo yakho yonke. Erickson Makosini uthi, how can men learn to be leaders? Men today are full of words but lack leadership skills, which makes more problems for them to know where to and how can it work better in that area. Financial freedom is a challenge again, because going back again, women of today are full of comparisons. As men, if you perform low, they'll compare you with umakhelwane, which causes more stress. Senza kanjani bakwethu to better than
I think it goes back to point lokuthi mawukhetha lokhetha kahle and khetha umuntu one-character right, umuntu onkosikazi, because if obviously uzokhetha kabi, ukhetha umuntu oseyintweni othanda izinto okompithayo, then obviously masenishadile, that's still going to be the same. So I think it does go back to that, ukuthi in your process of looking for a wife, that you look for certain qualities, because if you don't look for those qualities and you don't find those qualities, then uzoba senkingeni. And yes, people do change, but for the most part, khona nje izinto ezi-basic that I think when you get married you need to look out for, because you know, it's gonna affect you for life.
Yeah, and another thing, guys, ngiphendula lento yaMakhosini, to find a suitable wife. Let's say iBhayibheli, he who finds a wife finds a favor. So ngamanye amazwi, umfazi uyamthola ngobani, ayikho into oyithola ungayibhekanga. Found a wife, you need to find a suitable partner. How can you find a suitable partner? By first uzifune wena, mele uzazi wena. You must know your vision, you must know yourself. Uzazi ukuthi ufunani. Once you know yourself, it's gonna be very easy to find a suitable wife for you, because uzobe usuyazi ukuthi ufuna umuntu okanje, ivision yami kanje, so ngifuna umuntu okanje ozongisiza la nala nala, because a wife is a helper. So it's very, very important, guys, ukuthi uzazi wena kuqala, ungafuni umfazi ungazazi wena. Uyabo? Na nje into eshiwo uJustice uthi, understand your partner's traumas, because we all have one. Even that, if you know unenkinga somewhere, you need to get someone ozokwazi ukuyimela, ozokwazi ukukusiza kuleyo nkinga. Ungavela uthatha umuntu onama-hips, ungavela uthatha umuntu omuhle ofaka ama-weave. No, you need to get someone who is suitable. Mina phela ngiyaxolisa, ngiqondisile kwena.
Kusashadi-ke thina ngoba sinama-weave, Nkosi yami.
Sinalo somhlola, ake simfake sithathe iquestion yokugcina mase sivala ngayo. Mfowethu, usubuyile?
Hawu sengikhona qathatha. Ngithola lapho ukhuluma ngama-hips, utawufuna nakuwabona.
Hayi, ufike into eyiningi
ngithola ukuthi wena ufuna ukubona ama-hips, utawafuna inhlobo ama-hips.
Lutho angisho ngithela laba bayeke ukubheka ama hips kuphela babethatha abafazi ngoba ama hips ngeke abalungisele inkinga zabo. Ama hips akube akube ukuthi nje ibonus. Ngenxa yesikhathi la asike sithathe le question yokugcina mase sivala ngayo because nayo it's very very important. We just need to cover this one because eminye imibuzo bese siyikhavile no Mirabel la kwama comments. Umfundisi uSandile Dlamini uthi we as men need education on how to handle finances. Most men are stressed due to poor financial management. Maybe you can also touch on that one, my pastor. Uyizwile leyo? Asivele sihlala phezu kwayo mase sivala ngayo.
Ngizwile baba, ngizwe kahle kakhulu. Ngicabanga ukuthi okokuqala which is very much important njengoba sikhuluma ngama finances. Yes baba, yes baba, yes baba. Ngezwakala?
Yes.
Yes.
Siyakuzwa ba?
Yeah, ngithi ke it is very much important mhlobo wami ukuthi njengoba sikhuluma ngale ndaba esikhuluma ngayo manje sithi into yokuthi njengendoda awukwazi ukumanage nokumaintaina into ongenayo. So before sizokhuluma indaba yokuthi kufanele ukwazi ukumanage your finances, kufanele sikhuluma indaba yokuthi uwenza kanjani wona ama muscles wakho athi uqina as much as ama finance are concerned. Mhlobo wami ngeke ukwazi ukumanage into ongenayo. So i-issue yokuqala la esibhekene nayo ukuthi njengamadoda asikwazi ukwenza imali kanti lelizwe lanamuhla seli-scrutinizile into yokuba indoda la yenza kwaba i-space of financial muscle. Uma indoda yonke ingenamali siyaqala i-stress.
Sure.
Uma indoda ingenayo imali osisi abaningi baze bathi i-faithful, u-faithful ubhuti wakazibani, u-faithful ubhuti wakazibani uhlala sendlini akaphithize akekho faithful akanamali. Now ke mhlobo wami sikubaluleke ukuthi let people go out and learn strategies of making money. More than anything else asikwazini ukuyikhanda imali. Mangabe ke sesiyikhandile imali akhona ama financial advisors esingahlala nawo phansi. I think even indoda nje qala ukuyosebenza ekhashwe namhlanje before ihole ake iqala iyobona i-financial advisor. Sengikhashiwe ngiyasebenza ngizohola 24,000 a month. What can I do with my finances? It's very much important ukufundiseka ngezezimali ungakazithinti because ezinye izinto ezizokwenzeka ungayenza imali uma ungakwazi futhi ukuyimanage iphela kalula. Uma isiphelile ikubangela i-stress, ikubangela ikweletu bese kubuya leya anxiety, kubuya leya mental disturbance. So ke asenzeni imali maqedwe ukwenza imali asihambeni siyofunda ukuthi imali ikhandwa kanjani, then we will have achieved what we are talking about.
Sure. Sithi sisho sokuqala you can't manage what you don't have. So my daughter, uyabona ukuthi Mirabel
to manage what you don't have.
Yes, uyabona ukuthi Mirabel ukuthi le topic it was very linked to i-topic ebesizoba nayo last week. Bekumele sibe nayo la topic, but ke bafethu sisazoba nayo. Men must work. Finish.
Yes,
Men must work. Mangikhuluma ngomena ngikhuluma ngo-MAN lo we-human eBhayibhelini, ngikhuluma ngo-MEN wamadoda ukuthi indoda ayisebenze. So you can't manage something that you don't have. So you need to have money. Once you start making money, then you need to learn how to manage money so that you won't have stress. Because abanye abanaso stress ke esiningi, bane stress ukuthi abanamali and mabengenamali bahlezi bethola ipani and ke vele ke le nto is obvious abantu banafuna imali.
But another important bit I think guest deal ukuthi uholo for 24,000 or holo 10,000, speak to a financial advisor to see ukuthi uzomanage kanjani ngalama finances or now. Because another issue is siyabona kakhulu especially in our black community kune competition uhola 20,000 kodwa ufuna imoto ya 10,000. And then you start living outside of your means, and then obviously stress semali sisofika if you're going to be living outside of your means. Then at the credit card la, then uthengele unkosikazi isikhwama esibizayo kodwa uyazi saw-afford. So besides working, learning how to manage our finances akho and living within your means and not competing ukuthi ngifuna isicathulo 5,000 ungasi-afford, I think also it's very important. So it's a good point that I'm mentioning in terms of getting financial advice, in terms of how do you manage your finances, ngalokhu wena onakho, and not compare yourself to other people.
Yeah, abantu abayeke ukufuna ukuphila into abangayona, abayeke ukuphila impilo yamanga. That's a very, very powerful point, Mirabel. You know, abantu abamnyama, once mangase nje ahola 24,000, next month uzombona esehamba ngeMercedes. Uzokhokha malini ngale Mercedes? Uzokhokha u-12.5, and then insurance yamalini ya 3.5, already 16,000 is gone kulo 24,000. So thina asiyekeni ukuthi asiyeke le mentality bafethu yokucabanga ukuthi i-financial advisor eyabelungu noma eyabantu abanemali, like mangithi abanemali eningi. If from 10,000 you can get a financial advice, okay, asivele senze izinto zibe lula. Liberty, Clientele Life, Old Mutual, yiphi konje le Sanlam, ziningi guys, where you can get if a financial advisor, ube ne policy and get a free financial advisor. Kape uzothatha ipolicy nje ya 300, ya 350. Thatha what you call this, life cover, khokha 1.5 a month. In case something happen, your family will get 10 million and you are still getting a financial advice every month. Yeah, but
Yes,
you get someone who will teach you how to manage your finances. Yeah, but so lento yama-financial advisor bafethu akuyona yabelungu, akuyona yabantu abahola amamiliyoni. Nawe uhola 10,000, you can get a financial advisor in order for you ukwazi uku-maintain imali, because yes, some of us, we do have umqondo wokwenza imali, but we can't sustain it. Yeah, but so this is very, very important, guys, because if finance, I think inomthelela omkhulu kwi-stress emadodeni ne-depression. I think iyona enomthelela omkhulu more than i-anger, more than everything, because i-stress, anxiety disorder is caused by ungabi namali. When you seeing other people bebephumelela, when uyahlanganisa kwenzakala lutho, and then uqala i-anxiety disorder, and then it build up, and then it leads you to depression. Why? Ingoba awunamali. Sometimes njengoba desho nje umfundisi, kuyenzeka kube nayo imali kodwa ukwazi ukuyimanage. So guys, we need ukuthi sithathe serious lento le. Ngicela ukufunda i-comment yokugcina and then mase siyavala. Usiphesihle again, umfokampeka uthi, I think it's incredibly important for people to spend some time alone by themselves to explore and find out what are your strengths and weaknesses are. We need to happy when we are alive. We need to be happy when we are alive because we appreciate the identity in Christ. If I leave you alone in a room of an hour and you miserable, then you in a bad company. Be your own friend. Be kind to yourself. Mostly speak kind, encouraging words to yourself. That's one coping mechanism. Qinisile mfoka esiphesihle kunakho konke sesikhulumile nje bafethu, you need yourself. Ujustice uthi invest as much as you can, every single income you get. Powerful, my brother. Bafethu, if unemali oyithola every month, at least 10% invest. 10% of everything that you get, invest. Aphinde athi, yes Mira,
ukuthi nibeke nemali yelobola futhi khona lapho.
those are the push-ups. Yes, Kukon.
Hayi baba, into zami zimbi manje into zami ngapha.
Hayi sesiyavala ngampela manje.
zimbi into zami ngapha mhlobo wami ke yona ucingo lami lungacisha noma luchacha libheke enzansi wemhlobo wami. Ngiyaqala ubonto nje logazalwa. Cha ngivalelise kulolu hlelo namhlanje. Angihambe.
Hayi nokulungile siyakudedela mfowami siyakudedela siya understand mfowethu. Hayi usuhlabila lungakocisha nje awusivalelise fast kungakocisha.
Asikusho lokho mhlobo wami ngifuna ukuthinta le comment ethintwa yilo mfowethu la ukuthi ayikho into emhlabeni eyendlula uqobo lwakho. The greatest person you can ever have in this universe is yourself. Number 2, the greatest enemy you can ever have in this universe is yourself. Ingaki iBhayibheli incwadi yeZakha ithi above everything guard your heart. Wena udokotela wakho. Ingaki uma uNkulunkulu ezohamba noJoshua uJoshua chapter 1 verse number 8 wathi le ncwadi yomthetho ayingasuka emlonyeni wakho wathi hayi manje lo muntu ngiyambhedisa la ngiqala ngomlomo. Wathi wozindla ngayo ubusuku nemini, meditate on it day and night khona ke uyokwazi bese athi ke your ways are going to be prosperous. Mase ngivala ke angikhulume nazi statement. We have what we call intrapersonal skill. Intrapersonal skill yini? It is an ability to relate with yourself. It is an ability to talk to yourself. The greatest gift that God has ever given to any person living on earth is their mind, themselves. Talk to yourself. Profeta kahle ngawe. Khuluma amagama amahle ngawe. Yiba nebelief oyikhethayo uzikhethele wena. Ayikho ibelief ethi izinto zakho ngeke ihlangane. Awube nebelief oyikhethayo na ufunda iBhayibheli. Uncwadi kaPhilippians chapter number 4 uqala verse number 6 lithi ungakhathazeki ngalutho kodwa kukho konke izicelo zakhe zazibe usomandla. In other words, cheer yourself up. Everybody on earth needs you at your strongest point. Sengivala ke kokugcina ngoba ngikuthi 2% manje. Uma ngabe abantu bejola bethandana noma beshada, abantu baye bacabanga ukuthi nginama mental disturbances, ngiyahlukumezeka ekhaya, ngiyahlukumezeka emsebenzini, so ngathi ngingathola umuntu ukuze ngibe right empilweni. No. You don't need anybody. You need internal healing. You need to get yourself. Ngoba nalo mntoya kuyena uyomfrustrate ngoba emshadweni you give, you offer, you sacrifice more than what you are getting. Uma sizoshada sisinqo ngeke ngikuthathe lapha kuncewu. Uma sizoshada fanele sizibuze umbuzo othi kuwena ngizocontributani mina ngaphezulu kokuthi what am I going to get. Bantu besifazane ngiyazi ukuthi nifuna sibe no PM, nifuna sibe nama millions, kodwa ake ningilaleleke okungaphezulu kwazo zonke lezo zinto lethana uqobo lwenu kithi. Be real, be available, find yourself out before you want to find me. Lithi iBhayibheli uAdam asazitholile waphila naye isikhathi eside, waphila naye abantu bayanyanya ukuba singile, waphila naye uAdam esingile, kwathi maqhamuka uEva wathi this is the bone of my bones. There is no company that will be able to keep you if you are not keeping yourself cheered up.
Ay suka madoda. Hey ongezwanga ngeke aphindazwe. Silala somhlola sesikhulumile saze sasempumalanga ushukela wezwe madoda. Hey sagugula saphela saqeda sitimela sama ngempela it's NK1 Show bafethu. Hey mina ngiyathemba ukuthi amadoda azweli. We mantombazana nginiboni mention amadodeni la. Kanti ninjani nini? Ninjani nini
amadoda?
Ngiyabona niya comment kodwa nginiboni mention amadodeni.
Afihliwe mfowethu uncewu laba abantu bahamba amasonto.
Bayawafihla amadoda abo la. Laba bayafihla. Mina nge-women's conference ngo-August ngamenshina wonke hamba nobheka noqalaza lapha ngamenshina wonke ama-crush ami ngoba ngifuna afundiseke la ngifuna aqoqeke afuni wonke ama-crush ami ngawamenshina and ahleze khona ebuka la so nakuzama ukuthi sishimile ncewu. Hey kwaze kwazi bafethu nakuzama amadoda ngicela ngene ko-inbox na intombi la ishimile. Come on man wayinsizwa asakhuluma ngako ukugugula madoda na intombi la bafethu iyakholwa lengane le na intombi ngenani ko-inbox lapha nisho ukuthi ngithunywe ncewu mayengisha ngepani nibuye nize kumina ngizoya kuyena ngimtshela ukuthi ufunani kanti ngoba nawo amadoda
ya
hayi bafethu asibonge. Asibonge bafowethu asibonge mina phela okay na indoda awu singakovana indoda ongipha yena I'm single nami Ngiyathanda ngoba uLasini indoda engiyaziyo ukuthi iyaphanta, usomabhizinisi, idayisa imoto, idayisa amafoni, ihlezi up and down. Zama na indoda. Bafo Lasini ngena ku-inbox yazi ama-shares. Ufika nje umtshela ukuthi
mfowethu Ncewu, kuzofuneka mfowethu sike sibuye. Kuzofuneka sike sibuye sizokwenza usingile nemingili lapha. Awu abantu abasindisiwe madoda. Yabi Gugula Mandate isitwana sakamhlola ngiku1% ngicharge ngibheke enzansi. Sizobuya sizokwenza isingile nemingili lapha. Ngebatholana abantu ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi ungathi kunenkinga lapha enkonzweni amadoda ribabababa nazi intombi iguga.
And into weGugula zigcwele intombi ka-NK1 Show ikuba kwazo. U80% wama-viewers ku-NK1 Show abantu besifazane abasingile bambala abashadile. Wemadoda ngenani yabo nje manje uzame usayitholile indoda enemoto enemali. uLasini unemali unemoto and maye khetha wezama uzodila nami uLasini khululeke. Lasini I'm available for single and mingle. Awusekho available Lasini ngoba manje wena usumtholile uzama. So guys siyacela ukuthi no Justice uyamazi uLasini, siyamazi uLasini ngeke abaleke ngenze lutho, uzama usecovered. Siyabona ngiyacatha ngoba uzama engasacomment engasamboni sebebusy lapha ku-inbox.
Ayikhalebonakele vele already.
Siyabuya guys, thank you very much bafethu, to everyone who interacted, to engage with us on this topic. Bekumnandi kakhulu. Zike zakhala bafethu, bekumnandi kakhulu. Yo, immense conference, we are transforming boys to men. Khala ngempela ke bafethu, it's NK1 Show with your boy ubrother Nqemfanda kaJulu ma7 zashikho vemzinza thunga bele insizwa qede smart komhleke leba bele ngokufika. Awusuka madoda. Phaka amaphiko phiko ngenzela ukuthi into